So this is the heavy metal recovery video. I kept working, and I don't know at what point did I forget that I needed chelation therapy. But I eventually just kind of gave up on it because I knew I was poor and I didn't have any money or assets or any way of getting... Even Anal Eating Mummy God explained to me that's part of the system. You make sure the poor people can't have nice things. Like, that's how that works. And I was just... America is a fucked up place, dude. But whatever, man. It's by design. So I guess there's that. When I was I knew I was getting bad because I started running stop signs and red lights. I started rolling places and forgetting where I was. I forgot my bank account fucking code for the longest. I started losing names and faces, forgetting who people were. I'd just come into work and be like, it's that guy, or it's those guys, or whatever, because I was getting really bad. I started suspecting I had dementia. 6, 7, 8 months, 9 months, I don't know, 10 months, who the fuck knows. I was gone. All time just ran together in my brain, and I just soldiered on, because when you're poor, you don't have a choice. You just soldier on. There isn't anything for you. You can't stop. You just get to die. That's what happens. So, eventually, my brother was like, we're gonna go to Florida on vacation, and we came down here, and then we left, and we visited my sister, we did some shit, and then eventually we visited my father, and my brother and I were just exhausted, because I used to work like 60 hours. My manager was one of the members of this fucking church. They used to give me one day off, and I'd work like 60 hours. And then these losers who are losers would freak out during their shifts because they gotta go home and do drugs because they're lead-brained addicts. And this is a superior psychology. I just want to do drugs, okay? Like, okay. Great, there it is. The superior psychology, a complete piece of shit. But, eventually we came down here and I just slept. And after I probably slept and slept and slept, I eventually, I started watching speed runs of, well, not just normal speed runs, 100% of Ocarina at a time. I want to talk about that. With the heavy metal poisoning, my vision was going bad, and my nervous system was going bad, and my brain was going bad. Your brain, when it's being destroyed and starts falling apart, you start getting nostalgia, because the theory behind nostalgia is... it is your brain remembering when it used to be at its peak functioning optimization, when it was in good condition. And I started watching OOT runs, and I would watch like 6-hour runs, like just drilling on myself and staring at my computer. I draw pictures, believe it or not, and my drawing started getting really bad. I couldn't remember how to draw faces, and I would just completely forget how to draw things, and then have to relearn it, and then have to relearn it, and eventually, I mean, now I've pretty much given up on it. I couldn't play video games. That was another thing. I'd start getting really depressed while playing video games. Video games supposed to make you happy. I'd start getting depressed, and because my brain was falling apart. And my brain... your brain has its own set of emotions and feelings, and while I was watching even the speed runs, I started hearing a voice in the back of my head telling me I needed more neurons. My brain was like, we need neurons, there's only one of us in here, you know. Oh man. And I kept getting progressively worse. Yeah. And I started, even while watching the speedruns, I would start kind of like crying, I guess. I wouldn't know why I was crying, and I think that was my brain. I think that's how sad my brain was from the cadmium and all the heavy metals was, yeah, that it, my brain was sad. It was sad brain, what do you know? And I'd cry, and I wouldn't know why I was crying while watching the speed runs, and I wouldn't know why I was crying. I'd watch a link to the past runs also, and I would just start crying. I'd forget, I would comment and forget I commented, and then get frustrated that I commented. I would do things and then get mad that I did them, because I wouldn't remember what I did when I did them. one of the funnier things about my heavy metal poisoning was I would walk through door frames, completely forget where I was. This is just, remember, this is normal for the church to do this to people, okay? So there's a lot of you out there that think you have Alzheimer's and shit. No, you're friends with these people, the Church of the Anal Eating Mummy, and they decided to poison you because you said words they didn't like. So they decided to destroy your brain and give you Alzheimer's because they're good people, okay? Yeah, so I'd be, doing shit and I was out of it. I would watch one 6-hour, like 100% glitchless run of OOT, only to watch another one right after that, and that's how I spent my days. I started getting worse and worse, and then I typed it in on the computer one day, and I was just like, all these symptoms, and I was like, what could it be other than Alzheimer's and dementia? And it was like heavy metal poisoning. So I looked up EDTA, and somehow EDTA within the recent years had become, you could purchase it on Amazon, so I purchased a bag, and here we are. I started taking EDTA, and I started remembering all this shit. I started remembering what happened. I started remembering all the things, because I started getting, EDTA restores your neurons, so... yeah. It also restores your peripheral nervous system. Those of you that are metal brains at the church and you think it's a great feeling of being a metal brain, when you get your peripheral nervous system back, it feels like your soul comes back. So that's something you'll never experience, but it's pretty fun, actually. But the other side is there is an emotional roller coaster of twisted memories and thoughts and all types of crazy shit that comes back with it. The other thing is your nervous system kind of freaks out at random. That's part of there's this coating on your nerves that when you're neurotoxic, that coating gets stripped away, and yeah, when that coating is stripped away, like, you just feel like shit. Like, that's the only way I can explain it. When you have heavy metal poisoning, you live in a constant brain fog. And I was living in a constant brain fog, and I always thought that was just normal. It felt like I was sitting in the back of my own mind, not functioning. Like, I don't know. I know my brain is better, a little bit better now, but I know it'll never be as good as it probably could have been. I think that was stolen from me. Like, dude, these people have stolen everything from me. I can't even get a job without these people coming along to ruin my fucking life and then playing the victims and screaming they didn't do anything when they're a fucking human trafficking ring and they do all the wrong, but it's somehow my fault that they fuck up. Like, whatever. Yeah. And as I get onto it, like, I'm not a child anymore. I don't, like, whatever. I guess I am, I don't know. I kind of wish I could get a better brain. I think if I had a better brain, I could probably think of solutions. And there was this big stupid thing that happened, I'm going to talk about this. With my brain destroyed on heavy metals, Blondie was being a cunt. And he kept asking me to solve things or do things. And he was like, you're so stupid. Dude, these people, if they needed a smart guy, if they were like on a space station, they needed a smart guy to fly it, because they're envious, spiteful fucking pricks. They would destroy that guy's brain and then bitch when their ship crashed and everybody died. It's the smart guy's fault because we destroyed his brains, because he said words we didn't like, because we couldn't process those because we're moderately fucking retarded. Emotionally stunted people should not be around normal functioning human beings, okay? They should be relegated to their own little area. I suggest Utah. They would love them, trust me. Fucking... yeah. My lip used to do this thing, or it kind of sags. So whenever you see me doing, like, the metal face where I'm like, I'm winning, that's actually a reference to my lip sagging. The damage to my vision, I believe, is permanent, and I kind of it's part of the reason I really don't care, because, like, even this gray hair and shit, like, I was gray when I came down here. After I did EDTA, a lot of the gray actually went away, believe it or not. So that's actually very impressive. So yes, drinking heavy metals can turn your hair gray. Fucking, I don't know, it's whatever, dude. Fucking, heavy metals don't belong in the human fucking body. Believe it or not. Unlike these assholes at the church that think it's a great idea to get autism, ADD, ADHD, and all the fucking fucked up disorders you can possibly get from drinking heavy metals like a retard. Like, yeah. And one of the things that does piss me off is I said it to my lawyer, and it's one of the things that was in the original case, is I told him I was neurotoxic, and the Supreme Court said that's not a fucking legal, legitimate excuse for signing anything. And then I find out when I'm president of the church, you can get anybody to sign anything 90% of the time if you poison them with enough heavy metals. How do you like that? Supreme Court needs to get off its ass and make some laws about that shit. I'll tell you what, but whatever, dude. It'll never happen. We don't live in a just society. These people make it that way. It's not that we can't live in a just society. It's that these people won't let that happen. They're willing to murder, kill, and commit every horror known to man to get what they want. If I had to express what these guys' philosophies is as long as I get what I want, I don't care, I don't care, I don't care. It is a philosophy of a screaming child, like, doing all the wrong things to get the things they want. Like, imagine if, like, there was something in a room, some MacGuffin, and there was some guy that was like, oh, I'm going to get it through working hard and earning it. And then there was just some asshole that just started murdering everybody, killing, brutalizing, and breaking things and destroying everything, and then just grabbed it with bloody, broken fingers and was like, I won! This is how winning works! And you're just like, great. Yeah, we had all these rules. You didn't follow them. I don't care. I don't care. I was entitled to it. Like, okay. Great. Wonderful. Fucking wonderful. And this was kind of funny. I would remember, once again, on the heavy metals, I would remember random things, and then I would try to act on them, and then I'd forget, and then I would remember, forget. I had a bunch of people accuse me of pretending that I didn't remember. No, I actually didn't remember, because when you poison people with heavy metals, that's what happens. And some of these people are funny, because they're like, I drank heavy metals, and I'm totally normal. No, you're not normal, you fucking weirdo. You're less agreeable, meaning people don't like you. Get used to it. You decided to drink heavy metals like a retard. There was a lot of that. I remember so many people being like, heavy metals ain't that bad. Dude, it's fucking ridiculous. And the amount of people who just didn't care. But I would argue there's this whole thing about sympathy, like, I'm capable of understanding horrible shit by not experiencing it, but most people only experience sympathy. I think if you poison them with enough heavy metals, and then they got, like, to my point where their vision was going bad and their brain was crying, I guess, and having these issues, the neurological, the weird twitching in my fingers and shit, the burning alive, yeah, it's one thing I forgot to mention. When I went to bed at night, it felt like I was burning alive. These things, all these things, if they had to experience those, I don't think they would even bother to make fun of me. they'd be those people, this is horrible. This is horrible. Why would you do this to someone? Like, holy shit, dude. Holy shit. Fucking, yeah. I think it would be one of those things. It's that guy that makes fun of you when you have a broken arm, but then when he breaks an arm, it's the worst thing in the world, and everybody should feel bad for him because he's a fucking loser. Yeah. I don't really, yeah, I just, whatever. It does piss me off that that's not a legal excuse. Like, which tells you can legally poison the other side of a party. You get a hold of the other guy's lawyer, you start poisoning him with heavy metals until you win the case, because that's apparently legal for some reason. I don't fucking know. Probably because these people want it to be legal, I bet. It's funny because there's been recent research, and I think it's related to my legal case, because I remember telling the people, the FBI, that heavy metals is, according to this church, heavy metals is the difference between Republican and Democrat. There you go. You can make Republicans by poisoning people with lead. Which makes sense. Anxiety, distrust, and fear. Fear. And these people, they are a psychology of fear. They love threatening. They love watching people get scared. It makes them feel in control. It makes them feel like big shit when they're fucking losers. And they don't like it when you're not afraid of them. Oh, the amount of times I just told these people to piss off. And it makes me think, like, there was this entire thing, like, this one guy told me one time, he said that had anybody help me, they would kill him. And I was like, dude, I've been telling these people off. Just tell them off. Tell them to fuck off. Don't be a pussy, dude. Just tell them to fuck off. Oh, I'm gonna kill you. Go away. Worked for me. I don't know why it worked for me and it won't work for you people, but maybe it's because you people are cowards. Like, you're not gonna get reason out of it. Like with me, I'll never win because there's just too many people willing to be evil. Not because I can't, but because there's literally the equivalence. If I had to explain it, let's say I was in a race, there'd be some dickhead dismantling my car while somebody's putting shit in my gas tank and another guy's stealing the steering wheel, and then somebody would put a bomb on the car, blow it up, and then somebody would blow my kneecaps off, and then they would start the race, and they'd be like, "Bobby's losing! This is how you win!" Ah! And you're like, yes, you can win anything by being a dick. The thing about good people is we don't do that. I don't know what about these people's religion. They're like, oh, it makes good people. There's nothing good about that behavior. And I'm pretty sure if you did that to them, it would be bitching and screaming and throwing a tantrum. But I start to think that might be the point with these people, is because of their religion, they don't need to follow the law or do any of the rules like everybody else. They are above it because they have enough people willing to violate the laws for them, which, whatever, they call that organized crime, by the way. Yeah. I don't know. If anybody cares about this heavy metal shit, go ahead and ask me some questions down below. I'll give you my best responses. Manganese makes you apathetic. So I was extremely apathetic. I remember so many people calling, telling me the sob story. Or there was I'm going to just say her name, Miss Hannah Minks. She went to this YouTube Brawl for All, and these two really rich brothers killed her. She called me and was telling me they were coming for her, because those guys are a part of the church. She was part of the human trafficking. Apparently, Miss Hannah Minks got in on the human trafficking really early at this fucking church for some reason. They hate women. They have a whole thing about controlling women. That's why they put women in the human trafficking. If you're a wealthy woman on YouTube and you're not part of the human trafficking or part of this church, they will come for you. You're just putting yourself in danger because these guys are fucking crazy. They want to be in control of shit they can't control. Yeah, so in part of the human trafficking, once again, to get the human they poison you with heavy metals till you're in what they call the suggestive state, which I was constantly in the suggestive state, so, whatever. Yeah, there you go. I don't know, you do something with that.